That's hectic.
It's a bit hectic here.
Look at the llama, cute. Yeah.
Fupa balls clap. Fupa balls clap. All night long. Clap, clap, clap. Fupa balls clap. Fupa balls clap. All night long. Clap, 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 clap.
Because basically people were accusing him of using me to get to Canada. That's why. Yeah. Where would I buy a home? When I think of having my own house, I don't think of suburban, modern. I think secluded in the forest, an old, creepy or older home. I know it would be a lot of money to heat and everything, but maybe buying a bit of land and buying like a mini home or buying a cabin or something like that. I'm not even like, we're not even thinking about that right now, honestly. That's like not even a thought. Like we have other goals, you know? So for sponsorship, you can have debt. You can have a lot of debt. They don't care about that. But you can't have the status of bankruptcy. That's it.
One of the rules with sponsorship is you can't sponsor someone while you are in bankruptcy. What does that mean? Without going into too many specifics of bankruptcy, when someone goes bankrupt, there is a period where they are actually in bankruptcy, and it's usually, if it's a first time bankruptcy, it's 9 to 21 months. If it's a second, third, 10th bankruptcy, it's 24 to 36 months. So during that period, while you're following up with the trustee, while you're submitting reports and income, before you are discharged, then that causes a problem with sponsorship, and it's right there in the law.
Basically, yeah, because he passed, like, you have to take this IELTS test, this English test to go to Canada if you're a foreigner and all that. So he had all of the right papers and everything if he wanted to apply for himself to go. Canada isn't all that slow. I'd be starting from scratch. Yeah. But I don't know. Canada's full. There's a lot of room. What's the first thing you guys want to do in life? Travel more. Stay where you're happy. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be able to support whoever you sponsor for a certain amount of years. Exactly. You don't have to have a certain amount in the bank, no. You just have to be able to show that you have enough to be able to support your bills. You don't know how much money I have in the bank, how much money he has, or our finances, so. Right now, we are sacrificing every single fills, cent, whatever we're doing, okay? Because we have expensive things in the future we need to save every penny for. So we are sacrificing a lot to make these goals happen. So
when you're looking to sponsor your spouse to Canada, you must prove that you have sufficient income to support them and that you will not need to rely on social assistance once they arrive. However, you do not need to meet any specific number or clear the low income cutoff amount or LICO, like you would if you were sponsoring other members of the family class, like parents and grandparents. Part of the spousal sponsorship process involves the sponsor signing a legally binding contract with the government where the sponsor accepts financial responsibility for the basic needs of the principal applicant spouse. Basic needs include things like food, shelter, clothing, and other needs for everyday living. If your spouse ends up needing government support to meet these basic needs, the government will go after you as the Canadian sponsor for repayment. This commitment remains for the length of the undertaking period, even if you become divorced or separated, or you have financial problems.
There's no income requirement. You're actually exempt as a spouse from the income requirement when you're bringing your partner to Canada. However, you do have to show that they won't access public funds once they come to Canada. So I generally like to show at least about $15,000 Canadian if you're not working. If you're working, then this is a non-issue.
I'm never showing my marriage certificate. Nope. Because the people who matter don't require this kind of weird demands. Do you know what I mean?
Next, you'll need either your marriage certificate if you're married to the sponsor, or if you're common law, then you need to include a set of common law documentation showing that you have been living together for at least 12 months, as well as a notarized declaration.
Canada's spousal sponsorship program is available to a spouse, common law partner, or a conjugal partner of a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or Indian under the Canadian Indian Act. Spouses are two people in a marriage that is legally recognized in the country where it took place, as well as in Canada. Common law partners are persons who've been living in a conjugal relationship with another person continuously for at least 1 year. A conjugal relationship exists when there is a significant degree of commitment between two people.
Like, when they thought that that's what he wanted to do was come to Canada, they're like, he's not coming in my country. Like, you have any pull or any say on immigration. Get a life. Doinkus.
Have you ever seen a couple where you look at them and think, oh my God, what are they doing together? What in the world are they doing together? What if the difference between age is too big? What if you're from different cultures? You do not have common language to speak. So all of those together can put your application on trap. Number two, you married too fast after meeting each other, or at all. You did not meet at all each other before marriage. You meet someone on the internet and your love is so strong that you decide to get married. Will it work for your life? Maybe. Will it work for the sponsorship application? Probably not.
No, it's not the married man. I've only known this guy for like 2 days. And he wants to fly me out like next week and get married.
So make sure that when filing the sponsorship application, you show a logic progress from the first day you met to the day of marriage.
Everybody wants to show you how beautiful they look at their wedding. Of course, we want those pictures, but we also want to see those pictures include all of the important people who were at the wedding. So even if your relative is not somebody you love or anything like that, make sure that they're there.
No, Leslie, he didn't.
You want to see pictures of the parents, you want to see pictures of the in-laws, you want to see pictures of the cousins, you want to see pictures of the grandparents. All of those people attending demonstrate that this was an important event because you included everybody.
You also want to show that your relationship developed over time. You want to provide proof to show how your relationship developed over time. And a good way of doing this is often by providing copies of travel itinerary. If you have pictures, photographs of yourselves together at a specific time, a specific point in time, and at specific locations, then including these pictures will help to bolster your application and will help to substantiate your claim that your marriage is genuine and that your relationship developed over time.
If you're lucky, you might be invited for the interview, where you two will be asked separately some questions. And trust me, those questions will not be easy.
Where I can tell you personal stories about how uncomfortable questions can be about sex, about period of your life, and different situations when you have to know each other very well. Unless you live with each other or, let's say, well prepared, you cannot answer those questions, and they ask separately. People ask separately. Remember, guys, you invited and your spouse invited one by one without any chance to collaborate or communicate with each other between those interviews.
The Canadian immigration authorities will likely do an interview with you, with both parties separately, and they will want to know that your stories are consistent, you know, and that your understanding and your knowledge of each other correlates with the information that each party is sharing and with the information that the immigration authorities have.
So, you know, officers, they'll ask you questions like, sometimes they'll ask you questions like, what do you like about your partner? What do you love about your partner? This is, I would say, the most important question if you're asked that question. I have a lot of clients, they don't want to share that information with the officer for different reasons, cultural reasons. They're not used to answering that question to kind of like a stranger. They don't understand why the officer is asking that question, but this is a really important question. It's important that you share your feelings and you share what's in your heart. I think I always tell my clients, talk from your heart. It may be cheesy, but it's really, really important to show the officer that you're in a real, committed, loving, permanent relationship, because ultimately that is the most important thing during an interview.
Tell us how much you love Chantal. Too much, أكيد. Of course. She's so kind and beautiful.
What we're starting to see now is clients attending their interviews, and when they get to their interviews, the officer asks to see their cell phone or their tablet. And the applicant is caught by surprise. All of their personal and intimate information is in there, and the officer is asking to see the device and to unlock it. They then proceed to go through all of your emails, your address book, your photographs, looking for clues as to maybe you are still in contact with your ex-wife, your ex-partner, your ex-girlfriend. But beyond that, what they're doing is they are now extracting information, for example, of your in-laws. They get their phone numbers and randomly call them without notice and start asking them questions about you, information that you supplied, and to see if those in-laws, those relatives, those friends are answering those questions in the same way.
Strict rules now in Canada. Yeah, they've really limited. Exactly, I know. Harder than ever to get in there, I know. Like, when they thought that that's what he wanted to do was come to Canada, they're like, he's not coming in my country. Like, you have any pull or any say on immigration. Get a life. Doinkus.